My name's Callum Fletcher. I'm an entomologist. Used to work in New Zealand for the government research organisation over there, working on aphids, strips and psyllids primarily. My main area of knowledge is tomato potato psyllid. I won't be talking about that today, but it's certainly something that I'd be keen to talk about at another point. And we've got some resources over there as well on that. But today I'm going to talk to you about serpentine and vegetable leaf miner. Now, these are two leaf miners that are present in Queensland and a major pest, but they're not spread throughout all areas of Queensland. This is why I want you to sort of understand about them and the impact that they can have on your production zones, because as of now, we don't believe that either of them are in the Burdekin, but they will potentially show up. Okay, so we've got 3 leaf miner species that the federal government has the top 42 highest ranking pest of concern for the country, so the highest risk. And unfortunately, since they put that up, 2 of them have arrived in the country. So we have the American serpentine leaf miner. Now that's not present in the country. It's present in Timor and Solomon Islands. But I would encourage you to talk to Eilish maybe tomorrow, and she might be able to give you some more information about the presence or so with that one particular in Australia. Other ones that we do have are the vegetable leaf miner, which is I'm going to speak to, and then also the serpentine leaf miner, which is down in the south. Okay, so veggie leaf miner, these guys are, as you can see, putting down the samples, absolutely tiny. It's been found in the Torres Strait and Seychelles. So basically it's been contained by the Cohen area containment zone. So, of course, Atherton down here, Cairns region would be a big pain if it got into that region, just because the impacts that it has. Very small, feeding damage, and you can see the life cycle there: egg, lay, pupae, larvae, pupae, and then adult fly. Okay, so this is an illustration of how we got here. Argentina flew in, basically detected across the globe. The problem with these things is that they've been trashed by the insecticides. So they've basically got a resistance to a whole range of modes of action. And because they're leaf miners, you need something that's translaminar or systemic to get into there. And so therefore, there's this issue with resistance, which makes it a significant problem. Got into the Torres Strait Islands, which of course you probably recognize as being one of the major pathways from Southeast Asia. These small islands right at the top there, they can just basically make their way across. There's no agriculture up there, but there's a lot of people's back gardens and a lot of weed hosts, and basically, but we have managed to maintain it in the top there because there's not much being grown in the Cape York Peninsula. So hopefully that's been contained. Yep, there's the growth stage. Basically, that adult flies are stinging with an egg into the leaf. A pupae larvae is emerging and feeding, creating those mines, which then, as you can see, basically destroy the ability of photosynthesis, cause distorted fruiting, and expose the plant to other secondary infections such as fungal infections, because it's damaging the. So this is the problem here, is the commercial hosts, right? So there's a lot, and this is where the big problem is. It will feed on a range of species, commercial plants, cucurbits, solanaceous, etc. So basically, when it says vegetable leaf miner, it's talking about all of vegetables. Similarly, containment and control is a problem because, of course, it survives in weed hosts, Sriracha, especially up in the north, and so that they can survive in there even when there isn't a crop. There you go. There's the damage. Basically, as I was saying, it ruins the photosynthetic tissue and sort of causes stunting and unmarketable yield, basically. Lower yield and unmarketable fruit. Not so much because they're feeding on the fruit, but because the fruit is distorted from the damage. Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself basically with the other two leaf miners because it's very, very similar. So conscious of time. Now, I just want you to, the American Serpentine leaf miner isn't currently present in Australia, but like I said, talk to Eilish tomorrow and she might be able to update you on that. The Serpentine leaf miner came into New South Wales on some cut flowers imports into Sydney, established itself in, it's happened in October last year, established itself into some nursery stocks and then basically took off in the Greater Sydney growing region. It was also moved on those nursery stocks up into the Burdekin, into the Fassifern and Downs area around the, and Toowoomba around the Lockyer Valley. So like Kerry said, check your seedlings because this is the one way that these things move. They're not a great flyer. They won't be going too far, but they can move around on nursery stocks. So I'd be just very careful that you're not introducing them. One thing I want to make very clear, though, is that the Serpentine leaf miner has been deemed unable to be eradicated. So that means that it is currently present in Queensland. So therefore, it is not a notifiable. Sorry, it's notifiable, but it's not a quarantine pest. So just the issues around reporting are no longer at play. Basically, it's here. So for you guys, if you do find it, it's a management issue. And I would talk to your agronomist and also to DAF scientists and staff to get a clear understanding about what's best in terms of management. Because like I say, you don't want to be using chemicals that don't actually work on it anymore or it cannot access the target. So here we go, 250 different plant species. Similarly, I think I've just basically gone through that, reported on October 2020, and basically there was a whole bunch of sites where those seedlings went to and they were unable to contain and eradicate it. So now it's industry's problem to manage. As you can see, there's a little illustration of it moving in the leaf, and of course is protected from foliar insecticides. Damage there, look at that. One thing I can say is, yeah, they're pretty bad. And then we've got the broad range of hosts there as well. Now, here's a really important map developed by Caesar, James Mino at Caesar, showing where the 12 months of the year there'll be positive growth for the Serpentine leaf miner. And as you can see up here, yeah, we'll be fine. It'll be fine up here when it gets here, unfortunately for you guys. Weather's not going to kill it or heat. And of course, yeah, we've got the damage there. Okay, so for the next few months, we've got a management program developing diagnostic skill testing, surveillance protocols, industry management plans, and other forms to help. Basically, this is one of these things that just fell into the lap of industry to have to deal with now. Suddenly we've got something new to deal with. We don't know how to deal with it. It's been a problem over and around the world. So the Hort Innovation has funded a 2-year project so that those people that are able to help and teach and learn about managing this for industry do that work, and so therefore we were able to be in a better position to manage it. So that's ongoing, and those outputs will be there soon. Okay, I think I had one thing more of yeah, insecticide control. Sorry. Of course, there are a range of chemical classes and groups registered, as was mentioned before, for control. Similarly, beneficial wasps are quite effective at parasitizing and managing these leaf miners, especially we've found up in the Torres Strait that they have got them reasonably under control. So you want to be thinking about using some classes of insecticide that don't harm those beneficials and help maintain those beneficial populations.